Hi guys, new video series analyzing core strategy of a deck in 7 minutes or less. The purpose of this section is to showcase you the core strategy of a deck as Konami delivered it. We are not going to try to optimize the decks too much, just understanding the core strategy behind the deck. If we can do that successfully, what we're going to do is identify the deck's weaknesses and strengths and identify the best cards, and then after that we can maybe find loopholes in our deck to maybe try and patch them with different archetypes or increasing the ceiling or doing different things. So the first deck I chose was UA because it's very simple. It has new cards and it's super simple. It's just trying to set up 3 interruptions in your opponent deck in your opponent's turn, with just engine cards. The core combo is basically a level 4 UA monster, the 2 stadiums, or a level 4 UA monsters, the playing manager, and then the thing you want to summon. And I'm gonna show you. First thing, I'm gonna play with Foolish Real Goods to drop Penalty Box. Penalty Box you can banish from your graveyard to add any UA spell card from your deck. Because you can add the stadiums, it's basically just another Rhoda. You can also search for a signing deal, which is basically like an unexpected die or some sort of extender, or a weird searcher if you want to see it like that. Uh, I chose to play 2 penalty box in this build because this card, the playing manager, can pop it in your first turn if you draw it, so it's okay. Like, you can play 1, but in this case I think it's okay to maybe play 2 because it's super easy to pop it in your own turn, as you're going to see. So we're going to banish, we're going to search up for the second stadium, we're going to add a level 4 monster, in this case it's going to be midfielder, we're going to use a stadium second effect, which is basically a double summon. We're going to play our stadium. This card is not once per turn, so if you normal summon twice, you're going to get 2 searches. That's like the main point behind this. So we summon the midfielder, and then playing manager special, because it's basically like a Kage to Kage, and then we're going to add like Perfect Ass. And then we're going to special summon this guy, the Perfect Ass, from our hand to grab our level 4 monster. Then we're going to normal summon our level 4 monster to add the blocker. Then the blocker is basically going to end the turn. You have 1 Omni negation, 1 effect negation, and then you basically have a pop, or you're going to negate all of your opponent's monster's effect in your opponent's turn. So that's pretty much the core strategy. It's 1, 2, and 3 interruptions. Super simple. And then what you're going to do that right? We're just going to summon. In this case, we don't have another way to summon this guy, so we're going to do this. And then in your turn, what you're going to do is basically Jersey goes brrr. That's what you're going to do. That's exactly what you're going to do. And that's pretty much it. Remember that if you destroy something in battle, you can attack twice with Jersey. And because you inflict double to battle damage, it's usually a lot of damage, just so the rest of the guys can end up the game. We could also have searched for another playing manager, which would have allowed us to go for a ranked play. But yeah, in this version I was not even playing a ranked, but that's pretty much possible. Then I'm going to show you how to do it with the other guy, which is like the Libero Spiker, which is pretty much the same thing though. We open goods again, we do our stuff, then we play our field. Again, it's pretty much the same thing. Normal summon 1, we're going to add normal summon. We're going to play like the signing deal, midfielder, normal summon 2, and another search. In this case, if you're going to use this guy, you're going to have to search for a different name. As you could see, like, I had to return my Mighty Slugger, which is this guy, just to be able to summon the Blockbacker. If I was going to summon the Blockbacker with this guy, I would need the Blockbacker. Sorry if it's confusing. Like, for this guy, you're going to need to have in hand the monster you want to summon, but with this guy, you're going to need to have a different name. So that's pretty much for the core strategy and the core combo. It's pretty much the same thing though. It's super simple. Then in this case we're going to trigger the playing manager because it can be special summon on either player's turn because the trigger was met. And then we're going to get 1, 2 and 3 interruptions. Super simple, super simple. And then we're just going to try to win the game. So that's pretty much it. I'm going to show you the build and my final thoughts. Just a build. This is the build. We have many different UA monsters that might be good in different matchups or different situations. So you can read them and try to play them. This is a toolbox deck. A toolbox deck means that it uses all of its different cards in different situations to adapt better to the situation. In this case, I decided to fill my deck, my non-engine cards with Extravagance, Phantasme, Ash Blossom, and Nibiru. If these cards are out of your budget, you can replace them for other non-engine cards. As long as you don't mess up a lot with the core of the deck, you should be fine. And my closing thoughts, I mean, this deck is not going to be meta, it's not going to set the world afire, but it's super fine. It's better than Toons. I mean, being better than Toons is not like a great achievement, but it's okay. Like this is a good deck for a beginner. Like a beginner is not going to need to focus on the extra deck because the extra deck plays in this deck are very limited, and he's going to be focusing on a single play setting up 3 interruptions, and that's pretty much what the deck does. So if you have any comments or questions, you can hit me up. Remember, if you can't afford these cards, no problem. Replace them with other cards like Ogre, Gamma, Twin Twisters, etc. The deck's not going to perform as well versus meta, but it's still going to work out because we're not messing up with the engine. So, see you on the next, guys.